Memorial Day is a day to give thanks to veterans who have served our country, but that gratitude doesn't have to stop after Monday. Today, we're talking with Air Force veteran Colonel Reid Novotny to hear how we can extend our gratitude past the holiday. Hello, Reid. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So obviously, we do want to extend our gratitude. We are so grateful for the veterans that are currently in our lives and those that have passed. What are some ways that maybe we can thank them that we haven't thought of, ways that we can really show them that we appreciate their service?
So this weekend is obviously multiple things. It's the start of the summer vacations for a lot of people, and we're doing things outside, hopefully. But you know what you can also do? You can also take the time to talk to a veteran and just listen to their stories, because sometimes Memorial Day is especially difficult for veterans because they have something called survivor's guilt, right? If they've lost a friend like I have overseas, they might be a little depressed on this weekend. And this is an especially good time just to reach out and have a conversation with a veteran who's in your area.
Speaking of those that have unfortunately passed on or made the ultimate sacrifice, what are ways that we can honor them and really appreciate their memory on Memorial Day?
Today is actually the National Poppy Day. So you might see a lot of people wearing a poppy in remembrance of the 645,000 people who have died in sacrifice of our country since World War I. Another great way to actually give thanks back is visiting a veterans memorial or a veterans cemetery. There are actually 300 around the US, and you can go to va.gov and actually find one near your house and go ahead and pay your tributes over this weekend.
So especially in circumstances maybe when we're not in an active wartime, veterans come home, they enter the private sector, they want to find jobs working out in their communities that they support. What makes a veteran an especially good employer or an especially strong member of a team?
This is one of my favorite things to talk about. I think a veteran brings a different type of attitude to their work. First of all, they have this sense of commitment to the mission. So whatever that mission is, if you're making copies or if you're building a skyscraper, they will not let that mission fail. And it's just something that's born and bred into everyone in the military. And you also get a lot of loyalty and trust, and you have someone who's going to be dedicated to your company and again to that mission for as long as you employ them.
So you had kind of touched on this a little bit earlier. We have veterans that are coming back, like I said, and they're going to be working with us. And some of them do carry some trauma that they've experienced. So if we are working with a veteran, what are ways that we can support them and, really help them kind of adjust back to civilian life?
Sometimes I like to say that being a veteran is the largest fraternity or sorority in the world. Immediately, people have a connection with other people who have served. So a lot of times it's good, if you don't understand what's going on, just to try to see if you can have a conversation or connect them with someone else. But understand that even saying thank you for your service, you might get a different reaction back from every veteran you might say that to. And sometimes it's just because it's difficult to say thank you for my service when I know people have done more than I have, when I know people have deployed more or actually given their ultimate sacrifice on behalf of this country. So don't take it as disrespect. Just do your part, reach out to them, say thank you for your service, and just understand they might have a different reaction when you talk to them.
And we know that statistically, unfortunately, there is a very high suicide rate among people that were active in the military, have now come out of the military. And of course, we want to do our best to support them, and they may not always verbalize that they're going through some challenges. So what are some signs that we can look for in terms of depression and things that might lead them down that road?
Yeah, unfortunately, we have 6,000 to 7,000 veterans who commit suicide every year. And interestingly enough, it is depressing to know that the Operation Lone Star that is on Texas border and the U.S. border, we've actually had 3 suicides down just during that operation. So again, this is no different than another person going through a mental health challenge. It is actually May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So I would encourage people to look for signs like drawing back, changing behavior, possibly at the last second, giving things away. But if anyone ever calls you, anyone, especially a veteran, calls you and says they might hurt themselves, keep them on the phone, make sure you get over to them, make sure you call for support and get that person the right help they need from a professional.
Well, thank you so much, Reid. And we do really appreciate your service. You're absolutely fantastic. Reid serves in the Army National Guard. Colonel Novotny, thank you again for joining us today. And if you have a veteran in your life, if you know a veteran, if somebody's coming out of the military and you can support them, please do that this Memorial Day. And then make sure, of course, you honor those that have come before us. So thank you again, Reid.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.